Episode 21, Ghosted, Scammed and Overwhelmed. Small Biz Horror Stories.
I'm Ellie.
And I'm Jade.
And this is Really Fucking Trying,
a podcast where we talk about the ins and outs and ups and downs of running a small business and being creative. Today's episode is Small Biz Halloween Edition.
Dun dun dun.
Spooky.
It's the most half-assed dun 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 anyone's ever
Dun
done.
dun dun. We have asked our fabulous listeners to write in with their small biz horror stories, and we're going to keep this as light-hearted as possible, aren't we? But as you know, your Really Fucking Trying girls are firm believers in sharing the shit bits of small biz life as well as the wins. So hopefully you can get some advice, maybe what not to do, how to deal with shit, how to deal with scary things, how to cope when things go wrong. So these are cautionary tales.
They are, and we've done this, obviously. Is it a fun Halloween episode? I'm not sure it is, judging by the content here. No, it's not. So the reason we wanted to do this episode, because we had a couple of people DM us about scammers, lots of people about difficult customers, how to deal with that, things like that. And that gave us the idea for this episode. But it is something that we genuinely do all need to be vigilant of. So we felt like it was our duty to sort of share this and help raise awareness as well. I don't want to sound too tinfoil hat brigade either, but with the rise of AI, scams are getting more and more elaborate, more and more intelligent, and not all of these are scams by any means. No. There's a whole mix in here today. We really have got the worst of the worst. There's all sorts of different scenarios that people have found themselves in, but the key to this is not to scare anybody. We don't want to scare anybody off with this by any means, make anybody be worried about things that haven't even happened yet, give people anxiety, nothing like that. We just think it's really important to share these sorts of scenarios because they do happen.
They do, and I think me and you are very fortunate. We've been doing businessy things for a long time. We've met a lot of friends from doing it, especially like from doing markets and then from doing the podcast and all things like that. And I think a lot of people that are starting out aren't necessarily in that situation where they know other people that are doing it.
No, they don't.
So you're not necessarily having those conversations about when things go wrong or, that kind of stuff.
Or even a case of, you can get a message sometimes of somebody, a stranger that might seem a little bit iffy. You run it by a friend, maybe they can go, no, I've had something like that before, avoid. It's these little telltale signs that, sometimes the more people the less likely you are to fall into them traps. But we've all fell into one of them traps at some point.
Unfortunately.
And judging by this, lots of people have too. So
should we start?
Shall we start?
Okay. So our first one is from Tony at TLC Illustration,
who was our guest on episode 8 as well.
Oh, good memory.
And at least I think it is.
Something like that.
Yeah.
She was definitely a guest, I remember.
Yeah, she was.
So Tony has written, here's my crazy horror story with Runcorn's MP. Brackets, up to you guys if you want to name and shame her.
Sarah Pochin.
Ooh.
Otherwise known as Pinocchio.
Oh dear. There's a lot of tension in Runcorn, isn't there?
There is. We're a divided nation.
So Tony put, so she's the new Reform MP and I was working at an event for the celebration of some recently finished murals in the old town. I was doing a classic Tony Doodle activity.
So she does lots of live drawings. She's an illustrator, but she does lots of sort of public events. She gets people to join in.
She's good, isn't she?
Doodle rolls. She's very good. She's very patient.
She is very patient. I couldn't work
I could never.
in that way.
No.
I was doing classic Tony Doodle activity. I see her coming. I hid because I don't want to talk to her. And this woman literally finds me and asks me if I'm an artist. If I painted the murals with pencils that were next to me.
If you'd seen those murals, you'd know how ridiculous the notion is that they could be painted with the crayons that Tony used. And I know she won't mind me saying that, but the notion is ridiculous.
I told her multiple times that I wasn't the artist and she just did not listen. They took photos without my consent, but ended up getting them deleted. Lol. Ellie can vouch for me quite literally having a breakdown afterwards. Basically, doing community events means you often talk and meet people that you don't agree with. This time, it was a lying Reform MP.
I missed this by about 5 minutes. I'd like to point out. I did go to the event, but I got there, I think, literally 5-10 minutes after it happened and after they'd already left.
So they took her photo with the MP?
The MP came over, started talking to her, and her little team, just started snapping away without asking. And she's been in a lot of hot water lately. The MP, not Tony. She's been in a lot of hot water lately in Runcorn as well for certain things that she said that a lot of us
definitely don't want to be
agree
photographed with her, do you?
No, she's really not, you know.
Oh, God.
She got voted in at the end of the day, fuck knows how, but she did. It's a sad sign of the times, at least I think so. There will be people listening to this that disagree with me, and you know, that is what it is. But the only thing to take away from this, and she was very upset as well, Tony, it's worth pointing that out. I came to that event, I could only see the back of Tony. I tapped on her back, she turned round, and I knew straight away. Literally like, hi Tony, shit, what's wrong?
Oh, poor Tony.
I know. The only takeaway from that is don't feel like you have to be photographed with anybody.
Yeah.
You have every right to speak up and say
I think
no.
obviously it's awkward at the time, isn't it? But from what Tony said here, she's managed to get the photos taken down.
But they should have asked her in the first
Yeah, they
place.
should. Anyone should ask your consent for being photographed, no matter what the circumstances.
Can I follow this up with my own horror story? Because it does linking. It's
Ooh.
not a horror story by any means. I just thought, oh, for fuck's sake. So that new Reform MP was voted in a by-election, Sarah Pinocchio. And basically our MP before that was a Labour MP. He was evicted. I don't know. Is that the word? I don't know.
From the Big Brother house.
Well, either way, gone. For getting in a scrap, basically.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it wasn't great. But thing is, when this MP got in that scrap, it made national news. It did, especially right-wing media.
Yeah.
You know, I had a fucking field day with it. But that same MP had been to the studio a couple of weeks before and had his picture taken with me against a wall full of my stuff. So the media were obviously having a fucking field day with this bloke for a few days. And then, but I noticed that if you went onto his Facebook page, which I'm sure lots of people were after this, you only had to scroll down like a tiny bit to see me stood next to him smiling next to a backdrop of all my prints, and I thought, oh fucking hell, sod's law. It's my claim to fame though.
Yeah, any publicity is good publicity.
Yeah, his little scrap has cost us dearly. But yeah, I mean, the only takeaway from that is, you know, if somebody is trying to get a photo with you and you genuinely, for whatever reason, don't, you know, you've got every right to say no.
Yeah, you have.
And they should ask for your fucking permission, I think.
It's well out of order.
I know that I've been at a market before when GB News had been doing the rounds, and I've just kept my head down. But I knew that if they did come over and speak to me, I wouldn't fucking talk to them. But that's just my views. This isn't about politics.
No.
Anyway.
Do you want to read the next one?
Yeah. So the next one is anonymous. We have got a good mix of anonymous and, you know, some people didn't mind being named, which is very nice. Certainly, you know, there are quite a few anonymous. So anonymous said, I won't go into detail because, to be honest, I still got a lot of emotion and anxiety from this experience. As much as I've tried to put it behind me, all I can say is that when you're setting up your online store with Etsy, do not reply to anybody in the online chat box pretending to be Etsy support.
Oh no.
I spent all weekend setting up my shop. I should have gone to bed instead of working late into the night, but when you're new and vulnerable and don't recognise well-trained scammers, let's just say you're a prime target. My bank account was hacked into. It was horrific, and Etsy support, as all of us know, doesn't exist, so don't rely on them to help you out.
Yeah.
I was lucky that my bank was able to help and I got back most of the money. However, it really affected me. I was paranoid and ashamed for months after. I still am, to be honest.
Aww.
I kept my shop, but I'm not a fan of the platform, and I'm working at the minute to find some good alternatives to leave the site altogether. It ruined the experience there for me, sadly, because I know a lot of artists have done really well on there. Oh well, it was a hard lesson and I'm a lot better now, but yeah, it wasn't fun to say the least, and it completely put me off selling with them as an online trader. So if anyone has any good recommendations for alternative sites that are at least a bit more trustworthy and don't feel like the Wild West, then I'm all ears. I think that's all of us, son.
Yeah. Maybe we could do a post about that or something.
Yeah.
Get people to write in with theirs.
Yeah.
I hate that so much.
That was a hard read when that one came through, to be honest, because I hate that it's knocked the confidence so much.
And like when they've said that they are like ashamed, it's nothing to be ashamed of. We've all, like, obviously I haven't to that extent, but we've all fell for things like that.
Yeah, no, we have. That is. Do you know what though? Actually, this person has made a really good point, because there are quite a lot of scams. People messaging on Etsy pretending to be support team, you know, membership team, whatever it is, you know, sales. You know, they can be anything. But I think because of the Star Seller Initiative now, where you have to respond to messages on Etsy,
it's hard.
It's really, you feel like you have to reply to them.
Yeah.
And It is so easy. So for me now, I will not respond to a message claiming to be Etsy.
No.
I just won't.
No, so this was a few years ago, but I got a message on Etsy from somebody saying like, can I be your sugar daddy? Like, you know, those kind of messages.
Hello?
And I was like, under normal circumstances, if that had happened on like Instagram, I would just ignore it. But because of the Etsy seller thing, no, but you know what I mean? I was like, I don't want to get a bad review. I don't want him to be my sugar daddy, but I also don't want to be marked down on Etsy for having unreplied messages. So I was like, I've got to say something. So I was just like, no, thank you. And then he kept messaging me, and I was like, desperately trying to not keep the conversation going, but also I kept having to reply, because if you're not the last one to reply, it's like such and such is waiting for a response from you.
Yeah, I think Etsy needs to pack that in.
There's something's got to change there.
Yeah, no, it really has. But I think Etsy owe it to the sellers as well to clamp down on these
The thing is, I think Etsy are very hands-off, and it pisses me off because they're taking a lot of money from people. And I understand they're a business, but the customer support is not it.
I've heard a lot, but I've never had to use them, fucking touch wood.
Yeah.
Never had to use Etsy support, but I've not heard great things.
No.
Some people, and we've had guests on the podcast have
yeah.
you know, have had good experience, but I've heard a lot of, you know, things going missing and only getting stamps in return, which isn't great.
I've definitely heard more negative than positive. I'm really sad about that one.
Please do not let it knock your confidence,
No.
please. I get that it's put you off Etsy, I'm sure it would for anybody. That is not a reflection on you. It's not a reflection of your business. You've said that you were up late doing it. You know, that's not the best time for anybody. I know that if I start work first thing in the morning, like 6 a.m, you know, something daft like that, I would probably do things.
You're more
that
vulnerable to things, aren't you, when you're tired? And
yeah, it's not on you.
And
Please
it's also a
don't think
stressful
that.
time. It sounds like it was right at the beginning when you were setting up your shop. It's a very stressful situation to be in. They've caught you at the right time for them. Do you know what I mean?
But also please remember that the reason these scams exist and that these scams are rife, because I have weeks on Etsy where I feel like I get a scam message about once a week. It's a joke. The reason that they exist and the reason they're so rife is because so many people fall for them.
Yeah, and obviously that's really fucking sad.
It
but
is.
You saying that you feel ashamed, you don't need to.
No,
because
you really don't need
You're
to.
not the only person it's ever happened to.
Oh, I'm so glad the bank was able to help.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, that is definitely one of the more grim ones. But no, it's true. But for me, if I get any message on Etsy at all that's claiming to be, as I say, you know, Etsy support, you know, Etsy website, whatever it may be, I don't reply. If it's really important, I need to act, they'll email me.
Yeah, no, you are right. Yeah. Oh.
Goodness me.
Right, next one is from Leah at Malfi and Crow. Leah has written, so in spring 2024, I was asked to run a crochet class at a local venue, specifically for an Easter-themed plushie, as I specialise in plushies.
They're really cute.
To keep it vague, they also do crafty things, so it was in line with what they do. When I went to the meeting, they insisted that the session be only 1 hour and 30 minutes, and in that time, the customers would finish a small Easter-themed plushie. It would also be a children's-only beginner class. I said that it wouldn't be possible and it would be best to teach them stitches first and possibly multiple sessions for them to make something. But no, the owner insisted on her vision. Not feeling confident enough to push back as I saw this was a great opportunity, I reluctantly agreed. And boy, that was a massive mistake. It was so bad, I basically had a breakdown halfway through the class. The children were around 8 years old and apart from one, all had never crocheted before. Oh God. One was also left-handed, which requires a different method to crocheting. Yeah. I'm right-handed and never learnt to do it left-handed. With 20 minutes left of the class and only 2 rows done out of a 12-row project, I went to the owner telling her what had happened. She gave me a condescending face and said, well, if I pay for my son to attend a class like this, I would expect him to come away with a finished project. I was gobsmacked for how little sympathy she had. I shouldn't have really, but I was so naive in this situation. I ended up finishing the project for 4 out of the 8, whilst the others took the rest of the kits home. And here's the kicker, she never paid me. I sent so many invoices, but after a few months and some serious stuff happening in my personal life, I just dropped it. She also had the audacity to message me demanding why there were only 4 projects finished, as another parent came in demanding for theirs, despite their child taking home the kit. I vow never to run classes for children, and will likely never run any type of class, as the whole thing has put me off for life, despite people asking me for lessons.
In what fucking world do you manage to make a crochet plushie from scratch, having never crocheted before?
At 8 years old?
At 8 years old in 1.5
Absolutely
hours?
not.
In what fucking world?
When you've never crocheted before?
When you've never crocheted before and you've got a fucking lefty in your group. That makes it sound like I hate lefties. I am a lefty.
I am also a lefty.
That out.
So for a little bit of context, I don't know that much about crochet, but we do have somebody that runs a crochet course at Green Jam.
Okay.
So far they've had 2. It's been mostly the same people and they've made not a finished project out of the 2 sessions.
You wouldn't expect that now.
And they're adults.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They're still learning the stitches and they're going into the 3rd session.
Do you know what though? I've met this person at market before, Leah, and I think genuinely she's got the spot on personality for teaching a
Really?
workshop. Yeah, I really do. I hope this doesn't put her off. This person that she's worked with at this venue sounds like an absolute fucking moron. And you know, Leah's done the right thing and tried to tell her that beforehand. To not fucking pay her is completely unacceptable.
Yeah, that's fucking ridiculous.
I mean, that's, you know.
It's not on.
No, it's not.
So Leah said that she would likely never run any type of class in the future, which is obviously very sad. As you've said, she's got the personality for it, and I think
the stuff is super cute.
Had
as
this
well.
not been the experience, she might actually really enjoy it.
Yeah.
I think if I had any advice, I know that's not really what we're doing on this episode, but if I did have any advice for this, I would say get a very clear, before you go to anybody or anybody comes to you, have a very clear outline of what the session entails.
Also, regardless of whether it's kids or not, people have a different skill set.
No, exactly. Yeah.
It will take a left-handed person a hell of a lot longer to pick it up. It did with me when I tried it.
Yeah.
I tried crocheting once, never again.
Yeah. Crochet is hard.
Yeah.
It can't be down to the person whose venue it is, or it's on you. I'm not saying it's your fault. I mean, it's on you to make those decisions. Like, she can't take that out of your hands. That's unacceptable.
Yeah.
That she's done that. Do you know what I mean?
And I think it's so what if they don't come home with a finished product? If they can finish it at home, then great. Sometimes I prefer that at a workshop. I don't want to be under pressure to finish something.
Yeah.
I want to take my time and have a nice time. If I can take it home, brilliant.
Yeah. I'd much rather go somewhere and learn the skill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leah had the right idea, you know, start with stitches, definitely. And I think if she marketed that as a workshop, you know, with a venue that wasn't a complete, I won't say the word I want to say, but I think people would really be into that. I don't know if that's something, you know, Leah just doesn't want to do full stop.
Yeah.
But
I hope
I'm sorry that happened to you.
Yeah. I hope if you do want to do it, I hope that your confidence isn't too shook and that you do it.
That is pretty fucking
shit.
Yeah.
It's shit. Oh God. You want to read the next one?
I will. So this one is also anonymous. We have also paraphrased this to protect the person's identity quite a lot. But this person has said, here is my ghosting tale. It's a very, very annoying but not entirely unexpected. I was at a pop-up event in a place not far from me and was approached very enthusiastically by a man who also owned his own business, looking for an illustrator to design the packaging for his latest product launch. He said he found the person, brackets me. He was then joined by his other half, who happened to be an old friend that I'd lost touch with. Conversations were had, many arty chats ensued, and soon enough I was starting on a series of designs for them. The briefs were well put together and our chats were written down by me, so I had all the info to go. It was a bit stop and start as I was having a new studio built in the attic that year and they weren't in a huge hurry at first, but they progressed. It became apparent quite early on that he was a frustrated artist slash control freak slash helicopter client who always wanted to be the one who made every last decision and would not let me run with something and come up with my own ideas. Or it seemed like he would let me do that after I pitched him a direction slash rough idea and he would say yes, go ahead, only to then have changed his mind slash forgotten what he'd originally said at the start, even after I'd reminded him. It was a real trial and in the end the designs were done. One design was really tricky and he asked for a specific element to be done in a very specific way, which weren't my thing, but in the end it was finished, only to be met with a comment from him of, it's okay, I'm not happy, but we'll use it.
No.
The design went on the product and they have flown off the shelves and been met with nothing but praise from outlets. One more design was added so that 5 were live, paid for and doing their thing very well. A year or so later, we bumped into each other around Christmas and things moved on to me receiving a brief for 4 more designs for a new range of products. I was in real trepidation of getting involved again as it had been so frankly unpleasant before, but the positivity I got from sellers sharing my name and it being a successful collaboration on the shelves, I went forward. Well, I did one design. They wanted a change to an element of the design. I sent it and I've heard nothing back since.
Oh my God.
Despite 3 messages via text, Instagram and email. I have now heard from a third party that when they mentioned my name and that my work was fab, the whole conversation turned tumbleweed. I am fuming inside as obviously they've taken the job off me. And I think they might be the kind that would badmouth me if they went with somebody new. The fact that he's an obvious big head and that my work worked great on their product aren't making me worried about that, but it's not a good way to end. I'm sending them an invoice for the last aborted picture and I'm expecting it to to be paid. Products are still out there with my designs on, but I am totally expecting them to be redone by somebody else at some point. If there's any advice to give to anybody else, please use this main theme. I was a bit put off from being more hardline at times, as the woman of the partnership used to be my friend, but I did manage to build them for the time I had to keep changing things, but it made it very messy, and I'm sure it was seen as me being awkward, or in his words occasionally, not very good. I'm glad I'm out of it, to be honest. It's just a shame that it was such a positive public project for me, but it has become such a novel. Fucking wow.
That was a lot. That was heavy. I think you just sometimes have to deal with shit people like that, don't you? But I'm glad that they've managed to bill them for the time and all stuff like that. Obviously, they haven't been paid for the last project yet, but...
Well, they've been ghosted now.
Yeah.
Do you know what, though? I feel like this person's obviously got much higher tolerance than the rest of us.
Yeah.
Because, to be honest, if somebody I was doing hard work for turned around and went, nah,
Yeah.
or I'll go with it, but not very good, I think
would
I'd
have
go,
said no right there.
fuck you then, yeah?
Absolutely.
This person's clearly fucking professional and can put all that behind them.
There's no way my designs would ever have been on those products after they said
I do
want
to point out as well, we really want to protect this person's identity, because they've said, you know, they don't want to be involved in any public mudslinging, which is definitely not what this episode's about by any means, so we want to protect your identity too.
Yeah, of course.
I will say that this person's artwork is fucking brilliant.
See,
it is a them problem.
For them to... So they've gone to this person and said, I'd like to work with you. It's not this person going to them.
No.
It's not... They've not reached out and gone, please, can I be on your packaging? Do you know what I mean? So they obviously liked the work.
Yeah,
But then as soon as the work was done, they were like, oh, yeah, it's fine.
The second this person said, though, about this man being a frustrated artist, suddenly it all clicked in my head.
Yeah.
Sometimes other artists are the worst people to work with.
Oh, no, definitely.
Why do I feel like we're staring into each other's eyes?
Aren't they, Ellie? It's fucking terrible.
Hi, Jade. Mwah.
No, but I think it sounds like he's just like a control freak. But keep fucking invoicing him.
Keep fucking invoicing them, yeah. Another thing I would say, obviously, again, we're not here to give advice, but if you are working with somebody and it's a big project like that, if it was me personally, I don't do this kind of thing at all. But I think I'd want to go on like a coffee date with them first, you know, sort of get to know them and see where their head's at a bit. But obviously, you know, working artists, you haven't always got fucking time for that, have you?
And they've said that the guy's partner was like an old friend.
Oh, yeah, that's true as well, yeah.
So I think it's just more uncomfortable though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah. But maybe, you would be more inclined to trust them initially, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It's shite.
Oh,
dear. But you know what? They've said the products flew off the shelves.
Yeah, well done. Fuck him.
Yeah,
that's
fuck him. Well done you.
That's enough to fuck him off, isn't it? So the next one is anonymous. They've said, sorry, it's a little bit long. So basically, I make wax melts and some other home fragrances in my spare time. I am very small and the majority of my sales are through family, friends and colleagues. One of my colleagues said she had passed on a few wax melts to her friend one night, as said friend had commented on the beautiful scent in her house. I was on holiday when this person messaged me via social media explaining this, and she loved my wax melts. I replied the next day saying thank you for the kind words and that my books were back open for orders when I was home in 2 weeks' time. She mentioned that she'd seen one of my posts looking for brand reps, as I'm not that good with social media updates and I needed a little help, and she would be interested. I explained that I was looking for someone who was very active on social media and would like/share posts and tag me in posts of my products. You know the score. In return, she would receive 20% discount off her orders and 10% off the first order for any referrals and free samples of my new products and scents. She messaged me saying that she reps and collabs for other brands and she never pays. She gets free monthly deliveries as she has 7,000 followers. I didn't reply straight away, you know, with me being on holiday with my family. I politely declined and I explained that I couldn't financially commit to that at the moment, but hopefully one day in the future. She said, until I'm willing to give away free products for collaboration, that I'll never make any money and will get nowhere with my products. I just replied with thank you, have a nice day. So
This is a separate topic entirely, isn't it? And it's something that, again, you know, I think we all should have a response for, just in case.
Yeah. See, I've had a few people message saying, like, you know, can I have some of your stuff for free and I'll post about you on Instagram. And I think it's hit and miss, isn't it? It's each individual case is very different, because are they the right person for your brand? Do they fit your beliefs? Do they fit your brand identity? All that kind of stuff. And again, like, it's not always viable to give things away for free.
No, it's
Do you
not
know what I
by any
mean?
means.
Like, even sometimes when, like, people have reached out saying, oh, I'm running this, like, charity event, could you donate some stuff for a raffle prize? Even that's not always viable, and that's for charity. And I would feel terrible saying no to it. But at the end of the day, you are a business.
Yeah, I've never had anybody reach out and say, you know, oh, give me free stuff, I'll post about you on Instagram. But to be fair, I don't think I'm that kind of business.
No.
Whereas I can imagine a wax melt, you know, you certainly would be. To be honest, if I did, I don't give a fuck how many followers anyone's got on Instagram, to be honest. I don't care.
It doesn't necessarily mean anything.
No.
Like, on my business account, I've got, like, I don't even know, 13,000 something. That means fuck all.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I haven't got 13,000 people buying from me every day. I haven't got 13,000 people seeing my posts.
Yeah.
I've got 10 sometimes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It means nothing.
Yeah. I mean, who's to say, you know, somebody could reach out with, I mean, this person that they're talking about in particular has 7k followers. Yes, that's a lot, but 7k people aren't seeing it.
No.
7k people aren't placing orders.
No, exactly.
No. And I think they've done the right thing by still charging and just giving a discount.
Yeah.
So if you do want to go down that route, I personally don't, but if you did want to go down that route, I think that would be the way to do it. Discount, not free stuff.
Yeah.
And also, if you want to support small businesses, fucking support them.
Yeah.
Don't reach out and ask for free shit.
No.
I couldn't imagine.
No.
I mean, you've got 13k, haven't you?
Yeah.
So you could so easily turn around to a small business with, I don't know, a couple of hundred followers, maybe not even that, and go, can I have some free stuff and I'll post about you? And they'd go, yeah, in a heartbeat, probably, some of them.
But I would never dream of that. I often, like, if I meet someone at a market and they're just starting out, I've done this a few times where I've been like, why don't we do like a collab? We'll do like a joint giveaway where they've got to follow both of us. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And obviously...
We did it for the podcast, didn't we?
Yeah, but like in that situation, I, like, in some cases they've had like 200 followers and I've got 13,000. So they're potentially benefiting more from that.
Yeah.
But also potentially not, because they might have 200 followers that are actually seeing their posts.
Yeah.
I could get 200 followers from that.
The more you do this and the more you do social media, the more you realise, I think the numbers don't mean shit.
No. I was
really
so focused on it in the early days.
Yeah.
And I was like, I desperately need to like hit 5k, hit 10k.
No.
Do you know, it just doesn't
I
fucking
was
matter.
in the early days.
Doesn't matter.
I remember when I first started my Instagram, I think the very first one before the business, I had about 300 followers on that. And I was like, oh my God, when I get my business going, I'd love to get to 1k.
Yeah.
And when I got to 1k on my business page, I don't think I noticed.
No, it just doesn't matter, does it? It doesn't. It doesn't.
You're not looking to reach people, you're looking to reach the right people. I
Yeah.
think this wax mount person has 100% done the right thing. I think the response was very professional, but it's personal preference. You know, if you want to give free shit to influencers, if you want to give discounted stuff to influencers,
that's on you.
That's on you.
But again, if you don't, it's completely fine to say no.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Yeah.
So the next one's in a very similar vein. So we thought we'd put these next to each other. So it's another anonymous one. Not sure if it's a horror story, as I'm sure it's so common. I had someone reach out asking for a collab, brackets, free items in exchange for a post. They didn't have many followers. I think they were just starting out with collabs, etc. I sent them a package anyway, although I did have a reluctance. They said they loved it, but the post never came.
Ugh.
A month went past, then another, and then I went to reach out and it wouldn't let me message them. Their account was gone. To be clear, I had only sent them one follow-up message before this, and they said that they couldn't wait to post about it. I went into my home account and searched them, and their account was up and running like nothing had ever happened. Not only that, but they'd started their own small business. I really hope later on that they can appreciate what it's like to make something and have someone stiff you. I only have reps now and only gift people who are previous customers or interact with me regularly. Lesson learned.
That's so shitty.
I think that's another fucking reason not to trust.
Yeah, but it's hard, isn't it? Like, what else would you do in that situation? Like, write a fucking contract before you send the package?
Maybe we're old and cynical as well. You know,
Maybe.
for somebody that's new and fresh and up and running, someone reaching out to them with, I don't know, X amount of followers could be so exciting. You could be like, oh my God, this is going to like this is going to launch my business into the fucking...
And don't get me wrong, it actually might, like...
It could, yeah, you never
I
know.
genuinely do believe in the power of influencers.
In the power.
In the
of
power.
Influence.
Yeah.
In the influencer we trust.
No, I think there's people out there that are dedicated to doing it and it's like a full-time job for them. And I think that it can actually really work. But I think it's people like this that give it a bad name. Yeah. I just think it's so shitty. I can't even imagine, I don't know, like even
you
if
just know that this person isn't the only person that influencer has done that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, just ask for free shit, wait for somebody to say yes, get it, block them.
You know what? I hope it happens to them. Now they've started
I hope
business.
it does.
That's horrible, isn't it? But I do.
No, I do. They fucking deserve it. That's what you get for being a shit.
So the next one is from Katrina at Tree and Draws It, I think.
I think. We've had a bit of a debate over this one. We don't know. We're sorry, Katrina.
Anyway, Katrina has said, once this person commented on one of my mushroom drawings, like, I recognise this or I've seen this before, and linked me to a woman who had stolen my artwork and painted it on a huge canvas and was selling it at markets, etc. I was so fuming. So many people thought it wasn't stolen. She had changed a colour every here and there, and maybe some parts are more zoomed in than others, but it was my design, it was my artwork. I'm pretty sure she still sells it to this day. I remember tons of her friends had her back and were sending me messages, even though it was literally my art that had been stolen. It still makes me so mad.
Yeah, it would.
I've never experienced that, but it must be so fucking frustrating.
Yeah.
Because especially, like they've said, Katrina said, like, some colours were changed and things like that. So it's hard, isn't it? Because, like, you know it's yours.
Yeah, you know
but
when
you
know,
can't
don't
prove
you?
it.
Yeah. There's no way around that, really.
No.
That is shit. But at the end of the day, if this other artist can't come up with their own ideas, you know, they're the one that's going to flop in the end.
Yeah, no, exactly.
So this one's anonymous as well. I once had a customer accuse me of stealing their money because their order hadn't arrived, in brackets. I didn't know it hadn't arrived. They then went on to threaten me to send me a replacement or a refund, or they'd be leaving a bad review and reporting me to Etsy. It was, quotations, my choice. I advised them I had no idea their order hadn't arrived. They only had to reach out and let me know to find a solution. I sent a refund. People who can't be kind don't deserve the time I put into making an item.
Yes.
Too fucking right. Why is it so easy to just leave threats?
Yeah, it's fucking shit. I'll leave you a bad review and report you to Etsy. Good luck with that. I just don't fucking care about anything.
Do you know what, though? It does leave you in a bit of a loophole, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Because, like we keep saying, like, with Etsy, you're constantly like, oh, I hope I don't do anything wrong because
you are.
They'll fuck me over. Do you know what I mean? And I don't know if customers necessarily know that you're in that situation, but I think a lot of them say things like this, thinking, she'll panic now.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah. This person sent that to panic them.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just so shit.
Yeah.
But again, it's something that a lot of us come up against.
Yeah. But I completely agree with you sending a refund instead of sending them a replacement.
Yeah.
Because I think once they're rude to you, fuck them.
Yeah, just get rid of them. The money isn't worth it.
No.
But I think customers now, or just the public in general, because we're so used to things like Amazon Prime, we expect things next fucking day.
Yeah.
I remember getting a message once off Etsy. Somebody had ordered off me at 8 o'clock in the morning. So I'd woken up to an order when I'd woken up to go to my day job. And then I was on break during my day job. So this would have been around about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. And I had a message from the same woman saying, has it been dispatched yet? And I thought, oh God, it's been like 4 or 5 hours.
No.
Got a day job.
Even if you haven't got a day job, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, literally. And I thought, oh God, this customer's going to be a fucking nightmare. They weren't, thankfully. They left me a lovely review afterwards and they weren't, there was no more sort of follow-up. But I think we do become conditioned into thinking that it should be dispatched straight away.
Especially at fucking Christmas.
Oh, yes.
Christmas customers are unhinged.
Yes, they are. Even I'll say that, and I don't get many Etsy orders really, but yeah, even I've noticed a pattern there.
I've had people order like the day before Christmas Eve and are like, is this going to arrive by Christmas? Obviously it's fucking not, no.
I've had that as
Unless
well.
you live like next door, no.
Yeah. No, I think we're just conditioned into wanting things like next day, and it just doesn't work like that with the small business. You have to give us time, please.
Yes, please.
And also don't be a twat.
Yeah.
When something like this happens, I do like to remind myself, and I find this more difficult as the days go on, but this is just society as a whole rather than small business. I always like to remind myself most people in the world are good people, and I do genuinely believe that.
Yeah.
It's getting harder to
Yeah.
believe that.
Yeah.
But I do believe
it's harder every day to believe it. No, I do agree with you. Right, the next one is from Rachel at Pens and Needles.
Yay, we like her.
So Rachel has said, hey girls, here is my horror story. I started my small business whilst I was on maternity leave, and I used to go to playgroups with my son. I made jumpers for some of the babies in the playgroup, and then went on to do baby fairs and markets and things like that. At one of the events I was doing, I recognised one of the mums from the playgroup. She came over to my stall and asked how things were going, and told me that she wanted to order a denim jacket for a relative for their birthday. I thanked her for supporting my small business and told her that I'd be in touch within 4 weeks. We even said that we'd go for coffee and catch up when the jacket was done. Imagine my surprise when one of my customers contacted me to tell me that another embroidery page was going through my followers, following them and messaging them to undercut my prices. Oh. On further Colleen Rooney style investigation, it transpired the page was the mum from Playgroup. She had set herself up an Instagram page as a small business doing exactly the same designs as I do, and was going through my followers and basically trying to steal my custom with messages and undercutting my prices. She hadn't followed me, but was going through my follower list. At this point, I hadn't even completed her order, and we hadn't had a conversation that she was going to do any of this. Also, bear in mind that this girl lives about 3 streets away from me. God. I sent her a message asking her about the messages to my followers. There was a few choice words from me, and safe to say, we never did have that coffee.
Having met Rachel, I can't imagine her.
No. No.
I'd love to see it though.
No, I would. Oh, God.
Wow.
That's so shitty.
That is, wow.
It's bold. It's a bold fucking move, isn't it?
Bold to say the least. 3 streets away as well.
Oh my God, you're practically neighbours. I bet they have to bump into each other all the time.
Oh God.
It's just so hard-faced, isn't it?
Do you know what got to me about this whole episode, to be honest? The thing that really annoyed me. So I've taken over a lot of the admin, haven't I? So when we did the horror stories post, I posted it, and obviously we know how Instagram is sometimes. Sometimes, you know, some posts get a lot more engagement than others. That's just the way it goes. I wasn't sure how well this post would do. I wasn't sure how many responses that we get. So what I did is I posted it in the morning, put my phone down and didn't check until about 7-8 o'clock that evening. When I finally checked my phone and I saw the stories come through, 1, I was shocked at how many people had them, but 2, so many examples of friends and other artists fucking each other over, which I really, really didn't like. I should have poured myself a hefty glass of vodka before I went through those stories, because Christ knows I needed one after. But this is what makes me the saddest, is seeing friends, other artists just fucking over.
Yeah, people are fucking brutal, aren't they? They just don't give a fuck about anyone.
So the next one, we got another one from Katrina at Triandrosit. Again, I'm so sorry. I really hope we're saying that right. Please message us if we're not and tell us how to pronounce it. But Katrina has said, I remember when I was a bit younger and posted one of my sketches on my art page on Facebook. This woman basically commented on my drawing saying, we have similar art styles, and shared a traced image of one of my drawings.
What?
I replied, like, what the fuck? That's literally my art, but you've traced it. And she was saying how it was hers and it wasn't stolen and it was a complete coincidence. The drawing had been traced to a T, like every strand of hair was the same, the colours, everything. Turns out she used this drawing for something in her college course too. I have very good friends and people who appreciate my work, so she was hammered with comments and reviews about this theft on her page and ended up taking it down. A few years ago, she messaged me asking if I could get my mum to remove one of her bad reviews, as she's improved and doesn't do anything like that anymore, and I ignored her. Oh God, she's basically admitted it then, hasn't she?
Yeah, the absolute audacity.
Right, I just want to talk about this briefly though. Colleges encourage you to copy other people's artwork, and it's not right.
No, it's not.
Because some point you have to stop doing that and get your own fucking style. Colleges have got a lot to say for themselves there, because I myself was encouraged to copy other people's artist styles. It can lead to something, like you've always said, your artwork is inspired by, is it?
Rob Bryan.
Rob Bryan, that's it.
But again, that was just a starting point.
That was a starting point, yeah, and you can see the influence, but your work's nothing like his. I was inspired by Lucian Freud. My drawing technique is very similar to his. Is my work a copy of his? No. You have to stop that at some point.
Yeah, and it's different taking inspiration from someone and just fucking tracing it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Fuck me. Again, though, other artists fucking, I mean, if this, it sounds like this girl copying her isn't an artist, and it's unfair to call her one because she's just copying other people.
Well, she's not anymore. She doesn't do that kind of stuff anymore.
Oh, yeah, sorry. What are you doing, Katrina? Get your mum to remove the review.
Don't be tight.
We're kidding, by the way. Katrina's mum, you leave that up.
Can you imagine the amount of audacity this person has got to message her?
There's a lot of audacity in this episode. There really is. There's more coming as well, you know. There's more audacity coming.
To message Katrina and say, would you ask your mum to remove that review? No!
I don't do that shit anymore.
I've changed. I'm a new woman. God, no.
Fuck me.
No.
Jade, talking of audacity.
Yeah.
Would you like to read the next one?
I would. So the next one is from Emily C. Designs. Emily has said, basically, I got tagged in a photo which directly copied a pair of my earrings. And the caption was like, I had a customer reach out for a request that I copy a pair of Emily C. Designs earrings because she loved the design but knew I could make them cheaper. I'm going to be sick.
Yep.
They're such a nice design. I really loved copying them. Make sure you contact me if you'd like my version of other people's works. I was stunned. Like, what? To make it even funnier, she had taken part in a collaboration literally less than 2 weeks before, which was artists/small businesses against plagiarism. This must have happened like 4 years ago now, maybe 5, but I genuinely still laugh about it sometimes because it was just plain unhinged. Could have been worse though.
When I tell you, when I saw this message, obviously there was a few fucking jaw droppers in this, and we've already been through a lot of them.
Gobsmacked.
Yeah, this was the one that I went, what now?
I want so much more information.
I think I'm more annoyed than Emily C. Designs
Yeah,
is.
she seems pretty chill about it, actually. I need Emily, please, can you write to her? I need so much more information. What happened next?
Can we have a voice note, please, Emily?
Yeah.
I don't care if you
Come
don't
on
like
the
them.
podcast and tell me I can't go. What do you mean?
What the
Right.
actual fuck? I took about a week to get over the audacity of this one.
I can't process what has happened. She tagged you in the post where she'd copied you and said, if you want me to copy anyone else, let me know. What do you mean?
A customer loved your earrings but thought I could make them cheaper. Oh, do fuck off.
What?
Wow.
That's the cheekiest thing I've ever fucking heard.
This was the one that I read on Instagram when it came through, and I thought, right, Ellie, put the phone away for a bit, because genuinely I thought there was steam going to stop coming out my ears. I was stunned.
Halfway through that, I genuinely thought I was going to vomit. What the fuck?
I know. I mean, they're all awful.
Yeah.
But this one really does take the fucking piss.
That's genuinely the cheekiest thing I've ever witnessed.
How much of this, though, is artists?
Yeah.
Wow. I think I'm sad.
I think I'm sad. The absolute fucking audacity.
Yeah.
I can't get over that.
Yeah.
I can't get over it. And I feel like we're going to have to edit this. And it's not going to come across.
Are you okay?
No. Because I edit all the gaps out of the podcast and it's not going to come across the way that it is. But I think I need to be silent for like 25 minutes.
Everybody go and get yourself a cup of tea. We're just going to have a little break.
What the fuck? I don't think I'll ever go over that. Emily, please tell us everything.
Yeah, Emily, if you're listening, I
want to know more.
We need a follow-up.
Did you sue? What's appropriate here? I don't know.
The fact that she laughs about it, I can't laugh, and it's not
She's
even
actually
me.
put ha 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 ha
Yeah.
and a laughing face emoji. I am raging. Oh my God, I can't cope. Ellie, can I read the next one, please? Because I just need to move on.
Yeah.
So the next one is from Anonymous. So, I don't know if this qualifies as a horror story, but I was pretty pissed off at the time. Through a friend of a friend, I was introduced to a 17-year-old girl studying art at college. For a work experience module, she had to spend time in a creative environment with a working artist and was struggling for options locally. Having studied art and been in the same position myself years ago, I invited her to come and join me in my studio for her work experience. She came in for a few days, very shy, but eventually we built up a rapport. She was interested in starting her own business, and I felt I was able to give her lots of advice. She had a lot of questions, and I was happy to answer, and we kept in touch occasionally through DMs. Fast forward about a year, and this girl had finished college and announced the launch of her Etsy shop. I was super pleased for her. I clicked on the page to see what she was selling, and to my surprise, all the written info from biography to listings description had clearly been copied and pasted off my own Etsy. How did I know this for sure, you ask? Well, one clear sign was there. In her own bio, she'd forgotten to change my name back to her own. Whoopsie. Oh my God. I didn't say anything because she's young and inexperienced. Plus, I didn't see it as a threat to my own business. But, grrr. Glad I could get that off my chest.
This is what I mean, though, about colleges encouraging
What the
people to
fuck?
copy.
Yeah, but that's not even copying work. That's copying a fucking...
I get that. Do you know what? I do get that when you set up an Etsy shop, it's sometimes really hard to do the wordy bits.
But
because we're just little art students.
yeah. Yeah, no, I do get that. But like when I first started, all my Etsy listings were like, say I had a print of like a fairy drawing. My listing description would be like A4 print of a fairy. Do you know what I mean? It was shit.
Yeah.
But I never thought, actually, I'll just copy someone else's.
Yeah, that's what I did as well. I started shit and then sort of added a bit more as I went on about the sort of, but you just talk about the item, don't you, at the end of the day?
I would never ever have thought you're going to copy off.
How can you copy and paste somebody's fucking item descriptions?
That's madness.
That's insane. I'd like to know what this person's artwork was like, actually.
Yeah, I would. Do you think it, because maybe it was similar to, I mean, they haven't said, she copied my art. But if it was a similar thing, that's the only way I can think she could copy the description.
Fancy not changing the name.
Rookie mistake, firstly.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's cringe. Do you think she ever noticed?
I don't know. I hope it's still like that now. I'm so embarrassed for her. Oh my God.
Fucking go to AI before you go to
literally,
off other people.
I would genuinely, I know AI is potentially the end of the fucking world, but I would rather you end the world than copy off another artist. Oh my God, I can't cope. I hate this episode so much.
So the last one, and this one was actually the inspiration for this episode. Sorry, Jade, am I allowed to speak again?
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Sorry, I've calmed myself down now.
So this question was the inspiration for this episode, actually. So someone messaged in. We have kept them anonymous. They've said, question for you as I'm about to lose my mind. How do you deal with scam customers who try to have you off? Brackets, if you ever have. I sent a product last week, just in an envelope, nothing big. They've now contacted to say that the postage wasn't paid for, and they've had to pay £5 postage, and that I sent them the wrong product, which I know I didn't, as I only make one thing of each. I'm waiting for them to send me a pic. Something doesn't sit right with me, and to give a refund plus £5 extra will kill me off. I deal with scammers all the time, and they're usually easy to spot, but this was a fellow crafter. Of course it was. I just got bad vibes because they were very quick to interact with me and purchase stuff, but I just thought nothing of it, as they were a new starter looking for some support and waiting to hear from Royal Mail, and still waiting for them to send me a pic of the wrong item.
No.
Bullshit.
Nope. My advice would be you need to do absolutely fucking nothing until they've sent you a photo.
Yeah.
Because that is screaming bullshit to me.
Yeah. I think this person's a scam, absolutely.
I think this person's a scam. But it's annoying because they're a crafter, which is very irritating.
How do they know they've sent the wrong item if it's not there?
Because it is there, they've had to pay a fiver to get it.
Oh, isn't this all very convenient then?
Yeah. The envelope has arrived. The postman, I don't know. The postman has said, there's insufficient postage on this.
Yeah.
You need to pay me £5. I don't think it was the postman, but you need to pay me £5.
Yeah.
So they've paid £5, got the envelope, opened the envelope, and the wrong thing's inside is what they're saying. Send me a photo then.
Yeah.
Where's the photo?
Yeah.
Where's the photo? Because
Yeah,
they've
stop
put,
saying where's the photo.
Where's the photo? They've put, I'm still waiting for them to send me a photo, and they've put still in capital letters, which makes me think they've been waiting quite a while.
Yes. But this was the whole inspiration for this episode.
It was, because these
just
things
this message
happen all the fucking
Yeah.
time. Like,
We've all got stories, haven't we?
Yeah. I'm very fortunate because most of the things that I sell on Etsy are kind of my low-priced products. And I've done that purposely because then I can be like, I'll just send a refund or I'll just send a replacement.
Don't think that's the attitude.
No, it's not.
but-
It's not. But I've never had it happen and I've thought it's a scam. I've
Yeah.
had it where I've thought it's genuinely like got lost in the post or that kind of thing. I had one the other week actually that was a bit weird. They messaged me saying, to be fair, I am not always on the ball, but they messaged me saying that just an envelope had arrived.
You hadn't. Had
But a few times in the past, I've had it where I've sent a badge and the badge just kind of ripped the envelope and fell out in the post.
Oh shit, yeah.
So I thought maybe that had happened, and she was like, "No, there's no hole in the envelope.
Oh,
like I just sent an envelope with her name on.
Jade.
It didn't even have like a business card in or anything. Just an envelope with a stamp. You stupid bitch. But yeah, I've never had it happen where I've thought it's a scam. I've only ever had it where I've thought it was genuine. Whereas in those cases, I would just send a replacement or I would just give a refund. I think with this scenario,
Yeah, I think
I
that's
really
a
think
scam.
that's a scam. I think in your first initial message, you would go, here's a photo of the thing you've sent me the wrong thing.
Yeah.
That photo would come instantly, I think,
Yeah.
if you were complaining.
If you're complaining, yeah, because you just want to get it sorted,
Yeah, get
don't
it
you? If
over and
it's
done with.
genuine, yeah.
Stop trying to scam me.
But it's worth noting as well, actually, for a little bit of advice. So I did once nearly fall for a scam. So I got a lady messaged me about drawing a picture of her and her son. And she was like, I've got a $600 budget,
Interesting.
which sounded really odd to me. Like, you coming at me with dollars, like,
Yeah.
you know, but I thought fair enough, she might not know.
Yeah.
And she was like, what size would this sort of get me? And I was a bit like, oh my God. And I was going through my sort of price list myself thinking, right, okay, what is the biggest? $600.
And then
you know,
convert it into
yeah,
pounds
I converted it into pounds and messaged her back with a quote. And she was like, great, can I PayPal you? And suddenly there was alarm bells going off in my brain straight away. And I said, do you mind if I just see the picture first? I said, just because I wouldn't like to, you know, if the picture's not
Commit
up to
to something,
scratch.
yeah.
I always ask for a high quality photograph
Yeah.
for commissions because I want to do it the justice it deserves. But she insisted on the PayPal thing straight away, which I thought was just really bizarre.
Yeah.
So what I did was, and I would not judge anybody doing this with anybody, I searched a name into Google and it was a Facebook scam. She'd messaged lots of artists. But then on Instagram, someone else posted about the very same thing.
Oh, really?
And I messaged her, I said, don't go near it, it's a scam.
Yeah.
And she was very grateful for me saying
Yeah.
that. But
But that's the thing. I think that's, again, why small biz community is so important.
yeah, but I think do a bit of digging first.
Yeah.
If someone messages you out the blue after no engagement, not even following or liking your
Yeah.
page, that's a red flag already.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I'd messaged somebody out the blue, even if I was completely genuine, going, can you make such and such for me? I would not blame that person for doing a bit of digging on
No,
me.
absolutely not.
No,
No.
there's nothing wrong
No.
with doing a bit of stalking.
Yeah.
No. Not like that.
Put your binoculars away, Ali. But no, you're right. You're completely right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do your research. Protect yourself.
Yeah.
You're not stalking, you're protecting yourself.
Yeah.
Don't show up outside the house, please, and say Ellie said it was okay. No, but do your research. Google the names if you need to.
No,
you know,
definitely.
have a little dig around online, see what's what.
Yeah.
I had someone message me once for my commission price list, and the email address looked a little bit dodgy. You know, and it's almost the email address almost read like a code.
Yeah.
Like just an amalgamation of
Yeah.
letters and numbers
Yeah.
and capitals and non-capitals, like just weird. And I'd done a bit of digging and I searched the email address, traced it back to a LinkedIn account. It helps that my mum does research as well for a job, so that was helpful. But it was a fellow portrait artist who just wanted my price list.
Oh God.
And knew who I was, I knew who they was. Could have just messaged me and said, Ellie, what are you charging? Like I'm struggling with my price list here, which I would happily give them that information. But after sending it from a fucking dodgy email, pretending to be a customer, I went, nope, fuck him.
No, don't be sneaky.
Yeah, do your research, Google away, protect yourself.
Yes, please. Oh, I think I've got anxiety after that. So that is all of the things that you've written with.
Wow, by the way.
I feel physically sick now, thank you. No,
We're not doing this again.
No. And we might.
We could, yeah. I think, you know, we wanted to do this because we do think it's an important topic to cover. And whilst, you know, we haven't got loads of advice, I think by giving people instances of things that have happened to them, you know, things that maybe newbies, students want to look out for, red flags, things like that. Stay vigilant, stay alert. I sound like the fucking coronavirus.
2 feet apart at all times.
2 feet? It was 2
I can't
meters.
remember, was it? Yeah, 2 feet's not very far, is it? No wonder I got COVID. It's not funny, COVID's not funny.
We've tried to sign off.
Anyway, goodbye. No. Right. So that's pretty much all we've got time for today. We'll be back in 2 weeks with another exciting topic and another lovely guest. But you'll have to keep an eye out on Instagram to find out who that is. But yeah, so we will see you in 2 weeks. Please remember, in the meantime, you can write into us, follow us on Instagram at Really Fucking Trying. Write into us. We've got loads of links in our bio where you can submit questions, tell us your stories, apply to be a guest.
It's worth noting as well, a few people said that they felt really good getting these things off the chest anonymously. So don't wait for a post. If you've got something to message us, the reason we wanted to do this episode was because of that one of those last stories there about the postage thing.
Yeah.
It was the reason that we wanted to do this episode. So if you've got anything that you want to get off your chest, let's get a conversation going.
Use us as agony ants. We
don't care.
We love it.
We love it, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, again, we might not have advice for every single situation, but we're here to listen.
We'll support you.
Yeah, absolutely. So write into us, apply to be a guest, all that kind of shit. There's also, what else have we got going on? There's a Ko-fi link in our bio where you can buy some of our merch or buy us a coffee. So yeah, we'll see you in 2 weeks anyway. Bye.
Bye.